Hi. Does the word triggered ever make you feel like you have zero control over yourself? My name's Ami. I'm a therapist and someone who pays very close attention to the words I use. I think they matter more than we think. I've been quietly dropping the word triggered from my vocabulary because I don't like what that word implies. The experience of it is totally real, but triggered sounds like something that just fires. Like I have no control over that. It makes it seem like I'm some sort of target and something out there has the power to set me off, and that's just how it is. I have no say in it, and I have no options. And I think that is a frame that can keep people stuck. And I've watched that happen too many times in my career. Been a therapist for over 25 years. So the words I choose to use now instead are cued, cue, or activated. Because a cue is just a signal. Your nervous system is picking up on something and going, hey, pay attention here. Something in this situation is reminding your brain of something it learned a long time ago and it's responding to that. That's pattern recognition. Activated, my other new word of choice, is an indicator that something has been lying dormant. It shows you what needs attending to. I think of it like a teeny piece of a splinter that got left behind. It festers from time to time until you really get it all removed. Once that splinter is gone, though, it's just a memory. You might remember the time you had a deep splinter, but the pain isn't there anymore and it doesn't really fester up. You can still remember it. But when you receive a cue, you're just getting information. When you feel activated, it's a reminder that something still needs a little bit of your attention. Both of these give you options. And there's solid neuroscience behind this. You thought you'd get through one video without me talking about brain science? Nice try. What we call being triggered is largely the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, firing before thinking. Firing before the reasoning part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, has had a chance to weigh in. It happens fast, milliseconds. The emotional response shows up before conscious thought even has a chance. And that's why it feels so out of control, because in that first moment, it kind of is. Our goal is not to stop that initial response, because we can't. What we can do is shorten the gap between the response and our conscious awareness of it. That gap is trainable. The more you practice noticing, the faster your prefrontal cortex comes back online after your amygdala fires off that threat response. Psychologist Dan Siegel calls it the window of tolerance. When you're inside that window, your brain can process what's happening, but when you're outside it, flooded, reactive, or shut down, you are running on pure survival instinct, survival response. Learning to recognize your cues before you're fully outside that window is what will keep you in it longer. I remember a stretch of time in my own life where certain conversations would just activate me. Somebody would say something, not even something terrible, and there I was, my brain firing off threat signals, reactive. I might shut down. I thought of it as something happening to me. It wasn't. When I started thinking of it as a cue or activated, same feeling, same intensity, I had just enough room to get curious. I could ask, what is this reminding me of? What does my system think is happening right now? And that little gap between the cue and the reaction is where you get some of your life back, some of your decision-making power, the power of choice. Now, it's not going to happen dramatically or all at once, just a little more space, a little more room each time you practice it. So today, I recommend or suggest or challenge you to pay attention to anything that sets you off, big or small. See if you can catch yourself right in that moment and ask, what is the cue here? Or what just got activated? What is my system trying to tell me? What is my system trying to get me to pay attention to? All right, practice. Happy practicing. Put in the comments how that goes for you. I'd love to hear. Take care of yourself. I love you, and I'm sending you peace and light. Until next time.